fucking dare you, Konami? This movie fucking sucks. This movie fucking sucks. I'm mad, man. I'm fucking pissed off. I'm mad. I hate you, Konami. I hate whoever allowed this to happen. I fucking hate you, Christopher Guest. That's right. I fucking hate you. I hate this movie. I hate this movie. I fucking hate this movie. Anybody who hates this movie is in the fucking right. All of you who are liking this film, you're fucking liars. You're fucking liars. You're fucking liars. I see those tweets, bro. I see those tweets, bro. You're all lying. You're all fucking LARPers. I got a little carried away in case you couldn't tell there, but yeah, I'm pretty fucking mad. Okay, so I watched the film last night with a few of my friends. They had not played the Silent Hill games, and I wanted that because I kind of wanted the perspective of somebody who hasn't played the games and maybe wouldn't be as mad as me. I didn't go into the film expecting to be mad, but I did read some of the reviews, and I did see that a lot of people weren't liking the film, and it wasn't a loyal or a good adaptation at all. So I did have a expectation to be a little bit at the very least disappointed. This review is not going to be a spoiler free one, but for those that are looking for a spoiler free review, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I can't really talk about the film without getting into spoilers for both the game and the movie, but if you want a spoiler free review for whatever reason, it's not a good film. So yeah, if you wanted a spoiler free review, then that's the best you're gonna get. It's not a good film, at least in my opinion, but of course you can always make up your own opinion. So go watch it if you feel like watching it. But now for those that are gonna stick around for the spoiler review, then yeah, I'm gonna get right into it. Also, this is gonna be more of a breakdown of the film, because I wrote down quite a lot of notes. Like as soon as I got back home, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, I have to write down some notes or else I'm gonna forget half of this bullshit, because it's just that bad. And I want to forget half of this bullshit, but I feel like I have to tell you about it. So if you don't, this is more a review for people that want to review the film but maybe don't want to go watch it, because I feel like I'm pretty much gonna spoil the whole film. I'm not gonna lie, I have to, because I have to talk about a lot of shit. Okay, so I feel like I'm gonna be negative this whole review, so let's start off with some positives, shall we? On my notes I have that overall the acting was fine. It wasn't anything special or Oscar fucking performances, which I didn't expect. I said that the James actor was very good. I still remember that being true. He was very good. I think given a different script and different circumstances, he could have done James more justice. But overall, for what he was given, I think he did a good job. Same thing with the Mary actress. I think she did fine. I think the same case as James. If she was given a better script, she could have done better. Oh yeah, the music obviously was fucking amazing. The same composer. The set design was also pretty nice overall. I think that that was the nicest thing I can really say about the visuals. And the costumes are also pretty nice, I guess. Although I don't agree with some of the redesigns, I don't think they're that good. But the costuming was pretty good, especially for Maria and the Pyramid Head. I think that the outfits were pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about the actual film, because the rest of this review is pretty much just the negatives or me being disappointed. I'm gonna break them down in the order that I kind of wrote my notes in, although my notes are kind of fucking scattered, so bear with me here as I try to make sense of these notes here. Okay, so the film opens up kind of similarly to the game, except not really. In the movie, they open up with James being a fucking idiot driver and almost crashing into an oncoming car. So he swerves, because he's being a bad boy. He's driving all recklessly and shit, and then he has to swerve to not hit the car, and he ends up swerving into a luggage, and the luggage just opens up, clothes go all over the place. He's like, god damn it, god fucking damn it, he's all pissed or whatever. And then he parks, and he parks right at the overlook, from the second game, the beginning of the second game. So that was pretty nice, I guess. But yeah, and then the luggage is revealed to belong to Mary, who in this film is running away from Silent Hill. That's already a change, and I don't necessarily mind that change. But yeah, she's running away from Silent Hill. But you'll see why I do mind that change later. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Anyways, he he fucking breaks her luggage open, and then she's like, she's a bit angry, not angry. She's just a bit annoyed, you know. And then James goes to help her, and as she is fixing up her luggage, a bus comes, and she stops the bus because she was gonna get on the bus before James did his little shenanigans. And she waves down the bus. The bus stops, and then as soon as she's about to get back on the bus, the luggage opens up once again, and the clothes fly out. And this is a little bit of a small stupid note here, but right at this moment, she like, when the luggage opens back up, she gives like a sigh, and then she tells the bus to go on. And it's a stupid moment because why would you? I'm about to come back to that, because you'll see why it's a stupid moment later when I address why she's getting away from Silent Hill. Anyways, after this moment, you know, they just fucking pretty much just do the James and Mary falling in love shit. You know, we do some time skipping, and then we see James being a drunken fool and getting a call from a therapist or psychiatrist or some shit. I don't know. I don't remember what she was, but either way, it's like a doctor role that's like helping him out. So I'm guessing it's like a psychiatrist, which is an addition to the movie. From the game, it's an addition. There was no character like that in the game, and I wouldn't have minded it, but I don't think they did the character that good. That's the only time when we talk about that character, because really she doesn't play into the story like at all. Anyways, James goes back home. He's all drunken and shit. He got kicked out of the bar. And then he sees on the floor there's a note, and it's Mary's note, but they changed up Mary's note, and I mean, I don't mind that, you know. I think that it would have been cool if they just kept it the same, but I'm not gonna get into nitpicky bullshit. I think it was an okay thing to do. I don't mind that at all. Anyways, he gets a note. She tells him to go back to Silent Hill, and then he goes to Silent Hill. It's the middle of the night, by the way, and it's like fucking pouring rain, and he's drunk. Anyways, he gets there. He realizes that the fucking road is closed off. He gets a little pissed off, and then he parks at the overlook, and then that's when he goes to sleep, and he wakes up, and it's all fucking foggy, and he's in Silent Hill. And then we get the opening scene from the game. You know, he goes to the bathroom. He does the whole like face touch shit, and Then he goes down to the cemetery, and that's where he meets this movie's version of Angela, who I have a lot to say about. First of all, I should have mentioned this before, but for some fucking reason, I didn't realize this until like now when I was about to watch the film. Like before I was gonna watch the film, I looked at the cast, and then I realized that the actor for James also plays Eddie, and the actress for Mary also plays Angela. Why? You'll see why, I guess, but I mean, the Eddie one isn't really ever explained, but the Angela one is explained, and I have a lot of words for that when it's explained, because it's fucking stupid, to say the least. Anyways, yeah, he meets this movie's version of Angela. She's a bit not the same at all right away from the start. Instead of, you know, in the game, she's all like nervous and a bit jittery. In the movie, she's like still a bit jittery, but she's a lot more like angry, I guess. I don't know. She's like picking up like I'm pretty sure it's like sandbags or whatever. So like because the cemetery is like flooding, so she's like building a wall so that way with the sandbags, so that way the flood doesn't get to the rest of the cemetery. And she tells James to help her, and James helps her. And then there's like no dialogue from the movie from the game besides like a few lines. Okay, now here's where my notes get all fucking scattered, so I'm gonna try to memorize it from the tippy top of my fucking head here. Yeah, James goes off into Silent Hill then, and he just walks about, and he's all like, what the fuck happened here? He's like looking around all confused and shit. And this is where a bit of a nitpick comes from me. I don't think that the fog looked that good. I don't know if that's like a nitpick or that's like a complaint that a lot of people are saying, but I don't think the fog looked that good. But that's not too big of a deal. It's just a bit annoying. But regardless, he walks around, and okay, I'm really trying to remember here. I'm pretty sure what happens next is, oh yeah, I remember now. He fucking encounters I keep cursing, I'm so sorry. He encounters a homeless dude who's in Silent Hill, and the homeless dude's like, get the fuck out, man. get out, you know. And then James doesn't listen, and he looks around, and then he sees Heaven's Night, you know, the club from the game. And then he has like a flashback when he goes to the club. And while he's at the club and having that flashback of, well, yeah, I should mention this. Throughout the movie, there's like flashbacks of James and Mary, you know, being all like sweet and cuddly and shit. And this is like the first flashback that we get a bit of like, ooh, there's some more to Mary's character than we know. And it's Mary introducing Mary introducing James to her friends, I guess. But they're not really her friends, because you'll see why in a bit when I get to that point. But yeah, she's introducing James, and the friends are all like mysterious and shit. And as James is having this flashback at Heaven's Night, the fucking homeless guy just gets basically fucking mutilated by one of the monsters that James sees. And this is a bit of a confusing thing for me, I guess, because in the game that would never happen, because the monsters are James. This is what James sees. You know, they're up in his head. They're not what other people would see. They would not be able to be attacked by the monsters, just like Laura can't be attacked by the monsters, unless this homeless guy also sees what James sees. But I don't know how that would make any sense. I'm really trying my hardest to... Okay, I remember. Never mind. I was about to say, I'm trying my hardest to remember what happened next. But I do remember. He goes back to the homeless guy, who's now like a puddle of like blood and shit. He got fucking annihilated. And he encounters a radio, you know, the one from the game, the one that goes all fucking crazy whenever a monster's nearby. And the radio starts going crazy, and also starts like talking about how Silent Hill, the town, was evacuated because of some radioactive shit. That's a change from the game. That's a change from the game. Again, I don't mind most of these changes. I didn't come into this film expecting it to be a 101. I didn't want it to be a 101, but these are more like the smaller changes. The big changes come pretty soon. Anyways, he gets the radio. He walks out in Silent Hill. All the monsters are coming to him. Everybody's coming to him. You know, the little fucking bugs, and everyone's coming to get James. So he starts running and running, and then before he starts running, it like changes to like the second version of Silent Hill. You know, the one in the game where it's all like rusty and shit. The nightmare version or whatever. It changes to that version, and I thought that would have been cool if the visuals looked good, but the visuals in this film do not look good. The CGI is not good. The set design is pretty good, like I mentioned, but this fucking CGI is horrible, man. Not horrible, it's just not good. Also saw that the budget for this one was like in the 20 millions. That's a lot of money, but for Hollywood standards nowadays, that's like no fucking money. Every film nowadays costs like more than 100 mil. Which is insane. That's a whole nother rant that I'm not gonna get into here though. Anyways, yeah, he runs and he gets to the Woodside Apartments. Woodside Apartments. I'm out here going crazy, man. I'm not remembering shit right now because I'm going crazy. Anyways, he gets to the apartments. He blocks it off. You know, all the creatures stop at the window, and then he travels around the apartments, and then he goes up. If I remember correctly, he stops by a TV, and then he just has like a mental breakdown, and he calls a therapist. And then next time we see James, he's back. Wait, is he back home? I'm really trying my hardest to remember here, man. No, he doesn't go back, because he travels around and then he finds Eddie. This film's version of Eddie, which is just the actor for James in a fat suit with a beard. Yep. And he's not even the same Eddie. He's like a lot more like aggressive right from the get-go. You know, he's like, oh, what's up? He's a bit like of a clown character. I don't know how to explain it, but he has a very like clown way about him. And I didn't like the Eddie that we got at all. And this is the only time he shows up in the film ever. Angela's character shows up later in the film. I mean, Angela shows up later in the film. But Eddie is just, after this scene, he's never shown. And basically all he does is like attack James. He like starts like beating on him, and then he runs away or some shit. I don't remember exactly what happened. He gets away after beating James a little, and then that's when James meets Laura, or this film's version of Laura, who is Again, man, they mess up like every fucking character in this film. Yeah, they mess up Laura too. Right from the get-go, you immediately see that Laura is a bit of a suspicious character. In the movie, I mean in the game, she's a girl. She just looks like a regular girl, and then in the movie they make her all like a classic like horror like little evil girl, in a fucking pilgrim dress or whatever the fuck they are, the little nice dresses, and with a fucking doll clutching to her, she's clutching a doll. They make her like a generic little evil girl from the horror movies, bro. Okay, now this is where I fucking completely forget what happens next. I'm gonna try to go off my notes because I didn't really go like a breakdown of the film on my notes. I just kind of basically started ranting at this point. I was like, yeah, I was just ranting at this point. Okay, I guess this is where I should mention the big change in this film. The town of Silent Hill is a fucking cult town. Mary is the daughter of the cult leader who's now dead. And those friends that I mentioned earlier that she met, the reason why they were so mysterious and like eerie or whatever is because they were part of the cult. And we started getting like flashbacks or glimpses of what happened between James and Mary. And basically Mary was kind of being manipulated by these people. And again, remember how I said that when we first meet Mary, she's running away from Silent Hill, and then she just completely stops her runaway because because her luggage is just broken and she's just sad about it, I guess. Yeah, so she stopped all that, years and years and years of preparation to leave the manipulation that she was getting from this town. She stopped that plan just because her luggage broke. In what world would an abused person stop their getaway because of a little inconvenience? I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, the cult is all like, oh yeah, this is also why she's sick in the movie, because the cult was like giving her like a drug or some shit that was like making her feel good, and then they were like basically like doing crazy shit with her, and James sees this, and then that's another change from the game. In the game they're married, James and Mary are married. In this one they're just dating, which I mean isn't a huge change that I'm gonna nitpick too much about, but then they just break up because James confronts her about the cult shit, and he's like, naturally he's like, I don't want to be part of this shit. And then she's like, oh, okay. She even tells him that she was gonna leave Silent Hill, and the only reason why she stayed is because James liked Silent Hill. So she tries to put the blame on James. What, man? This movie makes no fucking sense, bro. Anyways, I had to go on that rant real quick. Basically, think about it like this: the film is the game Silent Hill 2, but cut out a lot of the emotion, cut out a lot of what makes a scene a good scene, and then just cram it into a 1 hour and 40-minute runtime, and add like the occasional flashback of Mary and James that really adds nothing to the story besides the cult shit, which again, in my opinion, it's just a stupid plot line. There's no reason for it to be a cult. I don't know why it's a cult. It completely changes the story. It's stupid. Oh yeah, I guess I have to mention Maria is in the movie. She's in the trailers, obviously. She's like a very forgettable character, not gonna lie. She's like in not that many scenes. She kind of like oh yeah, Laura. James follows Laura, is like chasing Laura or some shit, and then he encounters this movie's Maria, and she's right. She's pretty much the same character from the game. She's all like flirty and shit. I think the actress did a fine job here. I don't think she did anything bad at all with Maria. But they kind of changed her character too. Basically, the same things happen from the game, except not really. They cut out a lot of her scenes. Her only really main scene that I remember was, you know, the hallway scene where they're just running around or whatever. And then right when she dies, that's the other scene that they keep. Also, they do make James fall for her for a bit. James does kiss Maria in this film, which is an interesting choice to make. Anyways, yeah, this is like right before she dies, because James kind of realizes that she's not a real person, or that she's not real, that she's not Mary. And then for some reason in this fucking film, the way she dies is very stupid, because she's chasing James, because James is like running away from her, like getting away from her, you know, he's like leaving her. And then she's like, no, I'm real. And then James like covers his fucking ears or some shit, and then starts like shaking, and the room starts shaking, and then Pyramid Head appears behind Maria, and then he just fucking stabs her and then lifts her up into the air, and then she dies, and then we never see her again. Cool. But yeah, I mean, obviously another big bad guy obviously in Silent Hill 2 is Pyramid Head, and he is in this movie, but he's changed a bit, you know. He isn't really, I'm not going to complain too much about Pyramid Head. I think they did a okay job there. I think they could have changed, I think they could have messed it up a lot more, and I'm happy that they didn't change, I can't speak, that they didn't mess it up more than they did. But this film really drives in the point that James sees, or that James is Pyramid Head. There's a lot of scenes where like James gets a glimpse of who's behind Pyramid Head, and then when Pyramid Head finally kills, you know, not finally, when Pyramid kills Maria, then we finally get to see who's inside Pyramid Head, and guess what? It's fucking James. And then we get a flashback to James being all drunk and shit. Also, yeah, I should also mention this. James in this movie is a painter. I'm not gonna complain about that too much, you know. In the game, we don't know much about James' background, so they could have done whatever, but they made him a painter. That's cool, I guess. Anyways, he's drunk, and he's like splashing paint on the fucking canvas, and then when he like gets done splashing paint around, it forms the shape of a pyramid. Again, they're really trying to drive in the point that James is Pyramid Head, or that James sees himself as Pyramid Head. I don't know, man. That's an interesting change. In the game, there's really nothing that alludes to James being Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is just a character that's supposed to serve as James. Sorry, I can't fucking speak. I'm really mad. Pyramid Head is a character that shows that James wants to be punished, and Pyramid Head is that character that's going to punish him for what he has done, because James feels he should be punished for what he did. Oh yeah, and then here's the stupid fucking scene. After this, they basically reveal Mary's full name in this movie. You know, in the game, her full name is just Mary Shepard Sunderland, right? Nothing crazy. In this fucking movie, her name is hold on. Her name is Mary Angela Laura Crane. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. So that explains why the actress for Mary also plays Angela, and Laura is this creepy little girl instead of just being a regular girl, because they're both just versions of Mary. What? Why? This is okay. I'm gonna go on a rant for why this is stupid for Angela's character real quick. Angela is her own character in the Silent Hill game. She goes to Silent Hill to face her own past and to deal with her own actions, not to be a part of Mary and James's story. She only encounters James because they're both in Silent Hill, and they're both doing what they're doing. They're both fucking trying to, you know, deal with what they've done. She's her own character, man. She should not. This is a stupid change, and oh my god, this is the stupidest change. The Laura change is stupid too, but I'm more mad about the Angela change. They completely fucking butcher Angela. Like, why, man? Why the fuck would you do that? Oh yeah, and then after this, then we get the the scene, another Angela scene, another iconic Angela scene. We get two iconic Angela scenes back to back towards the end of the film. And in the game, they're great and beautiful scenes. In this movie, they fucking butcher these scenes, man. Holy fuck, these are the worst scenes in the movie, bro. So you know, in the game we have the stair scene where where Angela's walking up the stairs, the room's on fire, and yeah, she's gonna walk up the stairs. In the game, this is a scene for Angela, a unique character who has her own purpose to be in Silent Hill. This scene represents her not being able to come to terms with what she has done. So she is going up the stairs to meet her end. She is going to continue down this path of misery, and eventually all this path will just lead to is her death. In the movie, this is not at all the scene, because Angela's not here in the stairs. It's just James going up the stairs, and then he goes into a room, and then Angela is there, and Angela's on the bed. And this is where we get the other scene, another iconic Angela scene. We get the abstract daddy fight scene from the from the game, except it's not a fight scene, and instead it's Angela Mary basically morphing into abstract daddy, and then she does like nothing. All she does is morph into abstract daddy just for the look. That's literally all that happens. James like caresses her head or some shit, and then he's like, hold on. I quoted exactly what he said. Hold on. Oh yeah, James just says I'm sorry, and then that's that. We never see abstract daddy again. Why, man? Just why? Abstract daddy in the game is a boss fight that represents Angela being sexually abused. It's a fucking core element of Angela's character is her past sexual abuse at the hands of her father and brother, and they change this sad and just devastating meaning only for no fucking reason. It represents nothing in this movie. All it does is just look cool, I guess. Why, man? Just fucking why, man? Okay, and then after this, we get the reveal, the big reveal from the game, the big twist from the game, except it's done not too good. We get the big twist that James is the one who killed Mary. Wow. They changed it up a bit, and by a bit I mean quite a fucking ton. In the game, it's a lot, you know, it's a pretty devastating scene to see. We see that James is the one who killed Mary, not out of some sense of, at least not from what we can pick up. The only reason he did it is out of hatred, only out of a sense that of pity, and obviously a bit of probably love. But in this movie, they changed that up for it to be James and Mary both being okay with the fact that James is going to kill her, because James presses a cloth to her mouth, and then Mary also presses the cloth to her mouth, which just changes the meaning of this movie. Because realistically, I don't think obviously James should still be devastated, but I feel like that changes a lot of James's character, because in the game he's not a good character. He's a good character, but what I mean is he's not a good person. At least in my opinion. Everyone can have their own interpretation of who James is as a character, and I do think he did it out of a sense of love and pity, and obviously I think there's part of him that did hate Mary, but I think it was more out of a sense of love and pity. But in the movie they changed that up. Mary and James are both okay with the fact that she's going to die, and that James and Mary both basically end her own life. They both end her life. And I did say I was going to complain about that, but I'm not going to complain too much about that. I think that could have been done a bit more better though. And a bit of a little nitpick here, but the fucking budget really shows in this scene, because they give James a beard to show that he's depressed or some shit, and the beard looks horrible. I'm pretty sure if you're a fan of the movie, you've seen it on Twitter. It's everywhere. It looks fucking horrible. Anyways, after this we get instead of the Maria final boss, we just get Mary like on her deathbed, and then she turns into like a butterfly or some shit, and then she like flies up, and then she picks up James, so James starts flying, and then she basically hold on Yeah, they she basically forgives James, and then that's that. That's pretty much where that ends. And then James, after this, after he flies, and with Mary, for whatever fucking reason, just to forgive him, he we get the ending of the film, and it's actually an ending from the game. We get the stillness ending, or the in water ending, um, which I think is the right ending to do for this film, because this film fucking sucks. If you know what the stillness or the in water ending is, it's James and Mary both going into the car, and then James driving the car into Toluca Lake and drowning himself, basically ending his own life, and taking Mary's corpse with him, because he wasn't able to accept what he did. But they kind of changed that because James was basically forgiven, and in the game he's not forgiven, and he doesn't accept what he did. I don't know, man. That's just a bit of a stupid little thing for me to complain about, but I am gonna complain when I can. The devs of the game did say that this is their preferred ending, so I think that it was cool that they did this ending. I think that's why they did this ending, because it is basically kind of like the preferred ending of many people, including the developers. So basically, I kind of just went on a tangent more than anything. It's a bit of a more of a rant than anything. It's a very confusing rant, I feel like, because I am just at a loss for words, and I don't know what to say about this film except it's not a good film. I am very disappointed with what they did with this film. I am mad, but I feel like I am more disappointed than I am mad. They just didn't do a good job, in my opinion. I don't think that this film should have been made. I think, in my opinion, this project, this story of Silent Hill 2, could have been done better as a series or a show where, we got longer scenes, longer episodes, longer hours, more hours to build up these characters, which they needed, because again, a 1 hour and 40-minute runtime is not gonna get you to care for these characters. It's not gonna make you, at least it could make you care for the characters, but again, that depends on the script and the director, and in my opinion, this is not a good movie with a good director or a good script. Well, I'm not gonna complain about the director. I haven't seen all his films, so I can't call him a not good director but just off this film, he is not one of my favorite directors, that's for sure. Again, they completely butchered this movie. They changed up a lot, and again, I was expecting them to change up some stuff, or at least, I was hoping that they would change some stuff up, not because I think that the story is bad, but because when it comes to adaptations, you should change stuff up, obviously. The Silent Hill 2 remake does change up stuff. It removes scenes, it adds certain stuff, and depending on how you view it, it could be good or bad. And with this film, they, in my opinion, with what they add on, they take away quite a lot, because they do add on some stuff. They do add on to Mary and James's background, which I think could have been done good if we cared about these characters, but we just don't. I never in this film once cared for James or cared for Mary, because they just didn't feel like I should have cared. This film doesn't care. The director, I can't obviously say whether the director cared or not, but just judging off of what we got, I could not see passion or care for this lovely and beautiful story. In this adaptation, I am beyond disappointed, to say the least. I don't know, man. I think you should go watch it and form your own opinion. If you have a different opinion than mine and you want to share it in the comments, I am more than open for you to do that. Because at the end of the day, this is what these projects are made for people to talk about them, for people to digest this content and then get their own, perspective on it. And I think there are people, from what I've seen on Twitter, there are people who do not dislike this film, who are pretty okay with this film, and I am more than okay with that. I am not here to say that you should hate this movie or you should not like this movie, but I feel like if you are a fan of Silent Hill 2 and you love the story of Silent Hill 2, you are not going to like this movie. It does not do the story justice. It does not do the game justice. It is a disappointing film, in my opinion. If I did mess up some of the plot, because this was more of a rant than a precise breakdown. I've only watched the film one time. If I did mess up some of the stuff, then please do correct me in the comments. If you feel like if you feel like I left out some of the film in this breakdown, then please do leave it down in the comments. And overall, I am disappointed, and I am not happy. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go replay Silent Hill 2 or some shit just so I can get back the good version of the story in my head, because I need to clear this story out of my head. It is giving me a headache. Anyways, if you did enjoy my rant more than a review, because it was a rant, it was me complaining more than anything. It wasn't a precise breakdown. It wasn't some in-depth, meaningful breakdown of the film. But if you did for some reason enjoy my rant, then I would love it if you did leave a like and a comment, and that would mean the world to me. Maybe a sub too. This is a news channel that this is a new channel that I'm just trying to get up. I watch a lot of movies, I play a lot of games, I listen to a lot of music, and I have this useless info up in my head, and I might as well get it out to somebody, even if that's a few viewers or a few people. I am beyond happy with how this channel's been doing so far. I've only made 2 videos so far, and they're both don't have, crazy views, but I am happy regardless, because it's a pretty good start for a new channel, at least from what I've seen. Anyways, that's where I'll leave it. If you did enjoy this film, then please do let me know what you did enjoy about this film. If you feel that my review was on par with what you saw in the film, then that would be very lovely to hear some people that agree with me, because I feel like I'm going crazy here, or I'm being too nitpicky, but I don't think I am. I really do love the Silent Hill 2 story, and I am disappointed. Anyways, that's all. Take care. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon.